How to save for college with a 529 college savings plan. The key to saving for college is to start saving as soon as possible. The earlier you start saving, the longer you can watch your money grow and multiply. There are various options for saving for college, including the 529 College Savings Plan, which provides the finest combination of tax and financial assistance benefits. What is a 529 College Savings Plan? A 529 plan is a tax-advantaged investment account that can be used to pay for eligible educational expenditures for a selected beneficiary. A 529 plan can be used to pay for college, K-12 tuition, job training programs, and student debt repayments, among other things. If you save for college using a 529 plan, your funds will have a minor impact on your financial aid eligibility. Although 529 plans are named after Section 529 of the federal tax law, the plans are managed by the 50 states and the District of Columbia. A 529 account can be opened by anybody, although it is most commonly done by parents or grandparents on behalf of a kid or grandchild, who would be the account's beneficiary. In some places, the person who finances the account may be able to deduct their contributions from their state taxes. Until it is removed, the money in the account grows tax-deferred. Withdrawals aren't subject to state or federal taxes as long as they're spent for eligible school costs, as defined by the IRS. Tax-free withdrawals for K-12 students are limited to $10,000 per year. Two types of 529 college plans. Now that we have an idea of what it is, let's dig deeper and talk about the two main types of the 529 college savings plan. Number 1. Savings plans. The most commonly used type of 529 is a savings plan. The account holder makes a financial contribution to the plan, which is usually invested in a variety of mutual funds. Account users can then choose which funds to invest in, and the performance of those funds will decide how the account grows or shrinks. In the worst-case scenario over time, many 529 plans now offer target date funds which modify their holdings as the recipient approaches college age, becoming more conservative as time passes. 529 savings plan withdrawals can be utilized for both college and K-12 expenses. Qualified expenses in a 529 savings plan include tuition, fees, room and board, and related costs. The Secure Act of 2019 amended tax-free 529 withdrawals to cover registered apprenticeship program costs, as well as up to $10,000 in student loan debt settlement for account holders and their siblings. Number 2. Prepaid tuition plans. A small number of states and several higher education institutions offer prepaid tuition options. They differ in their details, but the overall idea is that they allow you to lock in current tuition prices for a student who may not attend college for several years. Note, however, that there are no prepaid options available for K-12 education. Prepaid tuition plans, like 529 savings plans, grow in value over time, and the funds that are finally taken out to pay tuition are not taxable. Prepaid tuition plans, unlike savings plans, do not include room and board. Other limits may also apply, including which universities can be used with prepaid tuition plans. A savings plan's money, on the other hand, can be used at almost any eligible institution. But before we continue, go ahead and click the subscribe and like buttons. It takes a lot to make these videos. Your small actions tell YouTube to keep promoting our videos. Also tell us in the comments section why you also think 529 college savings plans are worth investing on. Thanks. Now back to the video. 529 plan benefits. To help you decide whether or not to invest in 529 plans, let's take a look at some of this savings plan's benefits. A 529 college savings plan invests your after-tax contributions in mutual funds, ETFs, and other comparable investments, similar to a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA. Your money will grow tax-deferred and can be withdrawn tax-free if it is used to pay for eligible higher education expenditures. Contributions are also not tax-deductible in the United States. Depending on where you live, you may also be eligible for a state tax credit. State income tax deductions and credits for 529 plan contributions are available in more than 30 states. Because of the tax advantages, 529 plans are a better option for college funds than typical savings or investment accounts. Because donations are considered completed gifts to the beneficiary, some families use 529 plans as an estate planning tool. The annual gift tax exception is worth up to $16,000 per donor and beneficiary. How much to save? College costs, like any major life cycle expense, should be spaced out over time. 1/3 of the cost comes from past income, savings, 1/3 from current revenue, and 1/3 from future income. According to the 1/3 rule, loans. Savings and loans should be in a good balance. If you want to lower your student loan burden after graduation, you might want to think about saving more. Because college costs rise by a factor of 3 during a 17-year period from birth to college enrollment, the college savings goal should be the full cost of a college education in the year the child was born. This amounts to monthly savings of $250 for an in-state 4-year public college, $450 for an out-of-state 4-year public college, and $550 for a 4-year private college for a child born this year. By the time the child enrolls in college, $250 a month saved will have grown to more than $80,000. Ideally, you can save what you can if you can't afford to save that much per month. What matters is that every dollar you save reduces the amount of money you need to borrow. As experts say, it is less expensive to save than it is to borrow. How to invest in 529 college plans. Risk is inevitable in both saving and investing. Your money will not keep up with inflation if you eliminate the risk of investment loss. Larger yielding investments, on the other hand, come with a higher risk. With that in mind, the best option is to manage risk through asset allocation. A target date fund, like an age-based or enrollment date asset allocation, starts with a higher percentage invested in equities. Example given, 80% to 100% invested in stocks, and gradually reduces the percentage invested in stocks. Example given, 10% to 20%. This is a smart method to strike a balance between risk and reward. You will have less invested and more time to recoup from any investing losses when the child is still young. You will have locked in your gains by the time the child is older, and a far smaller amount of your portfolio will be exposed to prospective stock market losses. More than 2/3 of families have asset allocations based on their age. Although investment options differ for each 529 plan, all of them offer at least one age-based or enrollment date asset allocation investment option. All stock funds, fixed income funds, and money market accounts are all available in 529 plans. Foreign stock funds and real estate funds, which are riskier, are available in some 529 programs. FDIC-insured CDs and saving accounts are available in some 529 plans, making them a good alternative for risk-averse investors and the low-risk element of a 529 plan's asset allocation. How to maximize your investment returns. The key to optimizing net returns is to keep fees to a minimum. To achieve this, the best option is to choose a 529 plan with an annual cost of less than 1%, often known as the total expense ratio. Fees on some 529 plans are as low as 0.5%. You should also choose a direct sold 529 plan, which has cheaper costs and no commissions than advisor-sold 529 programs. You should also consider both your state's 529 plan and a few out-of-state 529 plans with cheaper fees, especially if your state gives a state income tax deduction or tax credit on donations to your state's 529 plan. Lower fees are more important when a child is young, and the state income tax benefit is more important once the child enters high school. Every year, fees are assessed on the entire value of the 529 plan, although the state income tax reduction only applies to that year's contributions. Investing choices that are passively managed, such as index funds, have lower fees than actively managed assets. You can choose cheaper schools or colleges, because doing so will cut down on the amount of money you'll need to save. While you can't anticipate the college your child will go to, you can direct them towards a less expensive option. Private institutions are more expensive than public colleges. especially in-state public colleges.